Hello, after you log into your SAP account, if you see the items under the current user menu, we need to move to the SAP menu. That's where all of the transactions and operations are listed. And from here, first we'll check all of the chart of accounts. Those are the general ledger accounts is already set up for the global bike company. For all of the transactions, we can either use the manual path or the transaction codes. Not all of the transactions can be performed by the T codes, but the majority of them. So for this one, if I use the transaction code, most of the accounting ones so have a longer transaction code, so you need to be very careful. So it's the S and underscore ALR is not case sensitive. So 8701233. And hit on enter and put your own chart of account. The chart of account is consistent with your company code. Okay, but GL means general ledger. If you have a admin user access, you can check the accounts for multiple users. And for our individual accounts, we only can check our own. So I'm using GL20 in this case, and the company code to be consistent. Then click on or execute. Okay, sometimes when either performable, it's like action, display, review, execute. So it's giving you a list that should be consistent with what we see in the instruction file. So in the words, the global bike. In addition to the account names, we have all of the account numbers, the 6 digits account number for all of the general ledgers, and is organized by assets, then liabilities, shareholders' equity, then profit and losses account, which includes revenues and expenses. So that's give you an idea for what are the available general ledgers we can use in creating the transactions. And sometimes if we need additional accounts, you can add from the other transaction demoed in the file. But this is only a view or display only. We don't need to do anything, or it's only a review of the available chart of accounts. So once we finish, I will exit. And now let's move on to change configuration. One of the configuration settings, so we can add all of the journal entries later in the correct amount. Because normally in SAP, regular users couldn't enter large amount of transactions into the system to prevent fraud and potential errors. But for our assignment, we have some large transaction numbers, so we need to change the configuration for the dollar value of the user right. For this one, you also can follow the manual path or use the transaction code. So this one is SPRO. But this transaction code is not the code that can bring us to the transaction directly. If you enter and check, okay, so it's going to the configuration homepage, but we still need to use the selection from here for the performing the functions. So click on the SAP reference IMG and then financial accounting document or financial global accounting global setting document, and then the tolerance. The tolerance is mostly we give the numerical tolerance levels or the threshold for transaction in inputs or error tolerance for some of the transactions, such as your collection of cash, your payment of cash. And okay, click on here. Okay, if you see the like a clock image, so it's end of the level, and then choose your user, the company code. So I need to scroll down my company code and then click on details. And this is the current configuration for the dollar value as for me to enter into the transactions. So 500,000 is kind of too small for the total debits and credits we are going to handle later. So this one I'm going to change, be careful. Not 1 million. Okay, change to 5 million. So add one more zero from here because 1 million still be too small for the beginning balances in the journal entry. So change to 5 million. Or if you want to change also like per line item, like for each account, I may want to change to 1 million. And you can see also we have some other configurations for the permitted payment difference. Or if you collect revenue from customer or pay accounts payables, we may make mistakes or there are some small differences. So how much the tolerance? So if you want to make adjustment, we can always go from here. So this is the configuration of your system. So after made the adjustment, we can save and make sure the data was saved and exit. And then before we move on to the journal entry, one final thing to exit again to the home page. Current, I don't have a direct posting account for return earnings. But for entering the beginning balances, I need to create a new general ledger account. So from here, I can use the transaction code is FS00. You also can follow the manual path is under your accounting transaction also. So enter. And this transaction give us the option to display a existing general ledger account, editing a ledger account, or create a ledger account from scratch. And this time I'm creating the return earning, copying the structure from the parent account. So I'm going to first, I want to add the new account number. This should be a brand new, not existing in the system. Okay, ignore. And this is a different one. Okay, don't use this one because that's from another user account. So just add the number and then your company code. So my goal is creating this new account under my ledger account and then this template. So you are copying from another accounting system and we are getting the same account. So the account number must match. But this one, the company code put US00. That's a control account for all of our class user system, or you can say the parent company, general ledger. So already existed in the US00. So continue. And you see the system is copying the account nature, the account definition for this return earnings. So it's a balance sheet account. Under SAP, they defined four major types of account, okay, which is different from the teaching material. So we have balance sheet account, non-operating expense or income. That's mostly your period cost. So non-operating expenses. And then primary cost or revenue, that's like your manufacturer related cost, direct material, direct labor, all of the manufacture overhead, and some accounts, cost accounts for internal control. We use those mostly for managerial accounting. So, and then this especially, under the account type, the return earning is a balance sheet, not fixed assets. Okay, there are some like subcategories, not fixed assets, not liquid, not material, not a profit and loss, is a regular balance sheet accounts. We have, I think most like payables or common stock. Okay, so doesn't belongs to other specific group. So we can leave the definition here, and if you want to add your company, so I add the long text. Okay, I may want to put US 20. So even I copy the structure. Okay, I just want a demo, so I know this is my own return earning direct posting account. And then other controlling data, the currency default account, the field group, that's some other controlling from the configuration. And then save and the data saved. So once we add this general ledger, so continue and we are gone, I'm done, so exit to the home screen. And now we can move to adding the journal entries.